Thank you, but save your applause for these amazing musicians. I am not performing tonight. Welcome to West Seattle Community Orchestras. This is the second of our 2 spring concerts. As I mentioned, I performed Friday night. Tonight you are going to hear the beginning strings you see on stage behind me. You're going to hear the debut orchestra followed by an intermission, and then the concert orchestra will wrap things up for the evening. My name is Renee Phelps. I am a longtime member of the West Seattle Community Orchestra community, I think for 7 or 8 years. COVID makes my math a little bit fuzzy. And it has been a wonderful experience, and I'm so glad that you are here to support our musicians tonight. This is the end of the 22nd season, or 22nd year of West Seattle Community Orchestras, founded by Dr. Tony Reineke in 2002. Always applause for Tony. But we welcome in our 4 ensembles, and in addition, our beginning strings orchestra. We welcome musicians of all age levels, grade levels, and experience. One of my favorite things about WSCO is that we have people who are learning an instrument for the very first time. We have people who are returning to an instrument after a break of decades, in some cases. And we even have some parents learning instruments or playing instruments alongside their children, which is a wonderful thing to see, and and as you can see, we are a multi-generational community. I will say also that students preschool through 12th grade do play in our ensembles for free and receive coaching and participate, although I will say we have never turned an adult away for their ability to pay either. We want to be a welcoming community, musical community. So in just a second, we'll get started. So I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you to please silence your cell phones. Our musicians have been working hard. We don't want any extra music in the audience if we can avoid that. I will also say that our debut orchestra is playing their second piece. You may notice has a title and then other titles beneath it. It is a tradition in the classical music community to not clap between the movements and to save your thunderous applause for the end of that piece. And without further ado, I'll introduce you to our beginning strings orchestra.
Welcome, everybody. We are the Beginning Strings. We're happy to be playing for you tonight. Our first piece is March of the Metronome. I like to think it's March of the Metro Garden. right, before we begin our next piece, or set of pieces, I want to do a couple of quick thank yous. I'd like to first thank Becky and Justin for helping me make everyday work around here. You guys do a lot to make this go smoothly. I also wanted to thank Tony for helping print multiple copies of this next piece. It was much appreciated, thank you. And Sandy and Emma are our string coaches. They're up here today. They have been so helpful in helping meet educational gaps that I like to fill when I can. So you guys have been great. Thank you so much for all the effort you put into this. Okay, so this next piece I wrote for the group, but they helped me come up with a lot of the ideas for it. So a couple of months ago we had a brainstorming session, and it was so much fun to see all the creative energy that it drew out of them, trying to come up with how do you write a piece that is about a garden in some way. So I'm going to kind of walk you through a little bit of what you'll hear so you can kind of listen for it as we go along, and then we'll play it. So the first piece, or the first movement is planting seeds, and you can listen for the pizzicato representing the planting of the seeds. In the second movement, you actually are going to visit a little bit of audience participation in the second movement. I'll tell you about that in a second. But it starts with some rain, and then a motif that represents the growing of the sprout or the seedling emerges, and as the movement kind of grows in intensity, that represents the flowers kind of starting to grow. The third movement. Managing a garden is not all about what we plant, but it's also about dealing with the weather. So it's a curtain of rain and a storm, and in that one, listen for the rumblings of distant summer thunder. In Sun and Bees, the sun comes out after the storm, and the pizzicato kind of represents the shining of light through the little water droplets on all the plants. And then there's the buzzing of bees in the middle of that one to listen for. And then finally, harvest and celebration. We hear the melody, the motif that has been kind of running throughout. It finally gets to be played like the full melody version of that at the end there. So quickly, to explain what you guys are going to do in movement number 2. Most of you have arm rests, right? So one of the students came up with this idea. For the rain, I want you all to lightly tap your fingers on your armrests or on your on their seat pad. Yeah, that'll be great. Oh yeah, this is gonna be amazing. Okay, so and I'll conduct you a little bit. I'll say, okay, start the rain, and then I'll say, let's get a little bit louder, and then I'll say, ooh, a little bit much. Let's kind of bring it down, and then the rainstorm passes. I'll start conducting. You can kind of keep the rain going, but maybe kind of let it fade away after a couple measures of them playing their melody, okay? But I'm going to let that storm pass as it does. Is there anything else important you need to know? I think that's it. Okay, here we go. Planting seeds. about to conjure the rain. to play our final movement of this little piece here. There are a bunch of you who have been rehearsing with us. Now is the time to come on up on stage. And I'll kind of explain what's going on, but I thought it would be really cool with, this being a garden thing and all. I'm a huge fan of gardens. I love gardens as a metaphor also, and I think that I wanted to kind of demonstrate some of that here at WSCO. So these are all players who have been a part of the Beginning Strings program at one time or another, and have kind of like grown through to different orchestras in the program. We have members of debut and concert and symphony on stage. I'm so excited to have them all joining us.
right, thank you Beginning Strings for your wonderful music, and we're gonna take a couple minutes to reset for our next ensemble. And while they do that behind me, I will take this opportunity to make a couple of announcements while everyone is getting reset back up here. As you may have noticed by now, from both the wonderful music selections you heard in beginning strings, and the beautiful set decorations that you see up here, that this is a garden-themed concert for us this spring. And this is because of very wonderful West Seattle Garden Tour. So they have been offering tours of local West Seattle gardens for people to come and visit, and have generously donated money to us for our continued operations. On that note, WSCO is a 501c organization, and we welcome donations from the West Seattle Garden Tour and viewers like you, should you feel inclined. Mariana, where you walked in, has programs and also a basket of cash if that you have some on you. So to thank the West Seattle Garden Tour for their generous support, our concerts this spring have been garden themed, which definitely saw come through in the beginning strings choice of music. You will hear more garden themed music in just a moment. The next West Seattle Garden Tour will take place next month on June 22nd, a Saturday. I believe they are still selling tickets. And not only will you have the opportunity to go see beautiful gardens around our neighborhood, you will also have the opportunity to hear some WSCO performers, some of them who may be familiar to you tonight. So definitely, if you are able to take advantage of that opportunity to both see gardens and hear wonderful music, absolutely do so. All right, while they're getting set up, I have a couple more announcements. One is we are just beginning our honor student program. So we are looking to support high school juniors and seniors who are potentially thinking about, contemplating, focusing on music in their college studies. And so WSCO would like to be able to support students in that endeavor. They're bringing more music and joy and beauty to the world. And so through the addition of audition support and coaching in that application process. So maybe that is something you might consider now, or something that might be open to you in the future. So that is the Honor Student Program. I believe there's some more information for you in your program. And if you enjoy music even more, we have more upcoming opportunities to hear and potentially participate in making music. One fun WSCO tradition has been playing in the park, where we gather on Tuesday nights at Lincoln Park, kind of that main entrance. You can't miss us once we start playing. We have 2 levels of ensembles that night. It is very casual. You come, you print out your music, and you play and practice and make music with all of us. So we'd love to have folks join us. You can sign up or we'll be able to sign up shortly to receive the music on our website. And then you are also welcome to come and listen to us perform. We will be sight reading. It's always a good opportunity to practice your sight reading skills. I say to myself, who definitely could use that. And hear and support your fellow musicians. That is always a great time. You can come, you can bring a picnic dinner, hang out. It'll be July, so summer will have theoretically, hopefully arrived by that point, and enjoy a wonderful evening out at Lincoln Park with beautiful music. And then that will be the 4 Tuesdays in July, and then our next session begins, I believe, in October. So there'll be more information for registering, for continuing on with your musical journey, or maybe some of you out there beginning, you've heard an opportunity to learn an instrument for the very first time with our beginning strings ensemble, or returning to an instrument that you may have left behind in a previous life. We welcome everyone and all to come join us. And I can see we are almost set up here. They're going to hear the debut orchestra in just a moment. So these folks are playing in progress to a larger ensemble. You see that there are string instruments and wind instruments in here, and I had to get the wind shout out. I'm a flute player. I also dabble in some brass instruments. I play in the Wind Symphony. We had our concert on Friday night. So wind players have an opportunity to focus on playing with other wind players in that ensemble.